Hey guys, I'm back with a new video. Today I'm gonna be talking about, graphic settings for GTA. And the reason I'm making this video is because, once again, there's a lack of answers online. I decided I'll just make this video myself because I know I'm not the only one that has been searching for, the best GTA settings, the best visuals in GTA while having a very decent FPS in GTA. Yeah, so before we begin and before I'm gonna start showcasing the settings, I want to say a few things. First thing is I want you to please respect my choices because first of all it's my opinion and I could be wrong in many things, but I am gonna mention that I did spend a lot of time researching what each setting does, and I believe I know what are the best settings at the moment for having the best visuals and a really good FPS for being able to fight really well and all of that. All I'm saying is that even my future opinion might change when it comes to many of the stuff I'm gonna talk about in this video, but hopefully I will help many of you guys. And yeah, okay, so let's begin. Okay, so I'm gonna go to settings, graphics settings, and okay, so let's begin. Okay, so first up, DirectX version. I would recommend setting it to whatever you feel like you need to choose. If you feel like you need more FPS, you could turn this down. That's all I'm saying. When it comes to your screen type, I would really recommend setting it to windowed borderless. And the reason is because most of you know how difficult it could be to minimize your GTA. And I'm not saying it's gonna be easy with this setting on, but what I am saying is it's gonna be much easier. For convenience sake, I really recommend setting it to windowed borderless. Next up, resolution. It could give you a very huge FPS boost in case you decided to lower your resolution. But at the same time, I really recommend keeping it on your native resolution. Aspect ratio, same thing. Okay, so next, the best Aaa method. I'm gonna tell you this, guys. So, Fxaa is the best FPS friendly option which you can use, which will give you the best FPS. MSAA is the best method in terms of complexity and looks. But it could cost you quite a bit of FPS depending on the situation. And as far as I know, NVIDIA TXAA is sort of a middle ground between Fxaa and MSAA, so yeah. But even so, I would really recommend all of you use Fxaa because in my opinion it's just the best. So yeah. Next, Vsync. It depends on what are your preferences, so that's mostly up to you. Population density, population variety, and distance scaling. I recommend if you have a mid-tier PC to just set this to the max. Except distance scaling, because that could really affect your performance actually. That's one setting that apparently many people have reported to have much better FPS when they lowered this option, so yeah, keep that in mind. Okay, so texture quality, I recommend setting this accordingly to what graphics card you have and how much VRAM you have specifically. But personally, I set it to very high because I like to be able to read signs and posters. And other than that, you have also like textures of other things, of course. So I recommend setting texture quality to the best you can. Or maybe high instead of very high. Yeah, okay, next. Shader quality, I recommend setting this to high. When it comes to shadow quality, you want to set this to only high. This is the only setting you want to ever put shadow quality on. And the reason being is because shadow quality is one of the most heavy options when it comes to performance in GTA. So yeah, set this to high and forget about it. Reflection quality, now this is a confusing one, and I'm gonna show you why. Because if I go to the bathroom, I look fairly normal. I don't know if you can see this, but you can probably see the jagged edges above my hair. So yeah, I recommend to maybe set this to the best you can. Okay, so next, reflection MSAA. This doesn't do almost anything. I would recommend just turning it off, just because all of us want those extra frames. Next, water quality, you can set this to the best. Particle quality, you can set this to the very best. Now, grass quality. Now, this is something very dangerous. Well, not dangerous, but like FPS costly, I should say. Just like the shadow one, never set this to anything except high or even normal if you don't really care about grass. This is one of the things that is gonna bring your PC to its knees the most in GTA. So yeah, just keep this in mind. Next, soft shadows. What I found works best for me is the softer option, post effects. Now, many people said this option really affects your FPS a lot, but if you really want to feel some of the amazing visuals which you can experience in GTA, what I recommend is to set this at least to high or very high, just because of the reason I found that it doesn't affect your FPS as much as people think, but I still do believe when people say this is a very heavy option. So yeah, this depends on what you like. I personally set it to very high. In the future, I might change it, I don't know. So, motion blur, I just recommend turning it off, but that's my personal preference. It doesn't affect FPS at all, so you're free to do whatever you want if you like the effect of motion blur. It's up to you. Okay, so anisotropic filtering. I just recommend setting this to the highest setting you can, just because of the fact this nearly doesn't affect your performance at all. This is one of the most light options in GTA, as far as I understand. Okay, next, ambient occlusion. I recommend setting this to high, but this is one of the lighter options as well, so you could set this higher, in my opinion. Okay, so tessellation. I personally recommend to set it to normal or even off. It depends on what you like. I did notice a slight FPS impact from tessellation, so I myself set it to normal. I might change it to off later on. And I'm gonna quickly cover advanced settings. Long shadows you want to turn off. High resolution shadows you want to turn off. High detail streaming while flying, I recommend setting this to on, just because it adds more detail while you're flying a plane. Say you look to the ground below you, which is nice. Frame scaling mode. Okay, now this is an interesting setting. If you have a really bad PC, what you could do is turn the frame scaling mode down a little bit, and it could give you much better performance. I personally used this option in the past a lot. My personal favorite is the 3x4 setting, which is this one. And yeah, I guess that's all of the settings covered. If you want even more performance, you could do many stuff like cleaning your PC with CCleaner and fixing registry issues, and you could also do many Windows optimizations, and there are many guides about them online. If you guys want me to make a video about it, leave a comment and I could possibly make a video about some of these optimizations. Okay, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and leave a like if you enjoyed, and comment below if you would want me to make more guide videos like this. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya, guys!